Good evening, Norin and Diane. Today we are continuing our materials about the Fintech Hubs in the context of financial technology environments against, and it will be run for every world, or maybe it's working in every countries or every city. What is the fintech hubs? When we learn about the hubs is like the place or a place where the fintech ecosystems will be catalyzed and growing better within the country or maybe in the city, and it helps the financial technology or combining technology in financing industry have the real world examples to growing together, and they are creating some success story. So the good fintech ecosystem will have some checklists for the fintech players and what they can do or what they have should do for their city or their country using the regulations that are containing in this country. Okay, the goals of fintech hub is trying to have the global competitive in the fintech environment in the world. So the fintech hub is not only talk about the city or the country, but the fintech hub will linking every financial technology between the city, country, and over the countries. So this is the main goal of the fintech hubs. The FinTech Hub is starting with the FinTech innovations. The innovations it comes from the entrepreneur, or maybe it could be comes from the computer scientists, the coders, and also the demand from investor, government, and the customer. So the innovations will be growing up because they meet every demands or every need for entrepreneur and with the scientists and also with the consumer, and will be connected with the governments. So it's a grief movement with the technology and with the financial industry. We call it the tech driven transformations. The technology will drive the financial industry to make a new transformations in the industries. So the tech-driven transformations will bring the digital revolutions, not only in the finance. It's make a digital revolutions in the finance industry and also impacting to the small, medium, and enterprises, or maybe some micro enterprises, and also changing the economic developments in every countries. So, as we found in the global fintech sector in global reports, we found that it grows 200% year on year in the funding for every years. So it should be a great market, the big markets, and they become from the digital revolutions. What is the nurturing of the fintech communities? We can learn or with the lessons from our leaders in the fintech hub. The leader is from the London Fintech Hub. If you have ever known, London is the Europe most successful fintech hub in 2015. And now it's still in the highest successful fintech hub, but it's number second in the world in 2021. The London FinTech Hub, we call the heart of global trade for the centuries, because in the centuries, they are make some great movement or make some innovations in the market. So we call it the heart of global trading in our centuries. So the London FinTech Hub is talk about the location and location and locations. They are make a great positioning in the locations. But the location of FinTech Hub is cannot be underestimated. It's not about the positions of the store or maybe with the linkage. They are talking about the connections, the network. It means they have a collaborative or collaborations, and they are open for the culture, not only for the England or maybe with the Nordic countries. They open culture for any countries, and embrace their culture with the potential, with the newness of technology, rather than the familiarity or the hierarchy. So there is no hierarchy in the London Fintech Hub. So that's why the Fintech Hub in London become the leader in the world. We call it the spirit of collaborations. They make some partnership and they are changing with the changing community, they against the dynamic, in a global situation. So we can find about the fintech opportunity. This is the uh, infographics for the fintech opportunity in London. Now in 2021, they are the second biggest hub in the fintechs. They have venture capitals for the investments. Is second after the New York and Berlin. New York is United States and Berlin is in the Germany. So if we can make some comparisons, San Francisco is number one, it's $7.2 billion, and following by London's, New York, and Berlin. So in this informations, London fintech companies having more venture capitals is growing up to 200% since 2019 and until 2021. In the Londons, in the central of the England, we can find 29 of fintech unicorns, including Checkout.com, Starling Bun, and Trackables. Now it's not only the unicorn, it's for the decacorns. Yeah. So the London is the highest of the highest number, having the highest number of fintech companies in the world, including the insurtech, cryptocurrency, the payments, and also with the banking. So that is the lesson for our leader in the fintech companies. So let's see about the another informations, another examples, and we can exploring about the another fintech center in every country. We can start with the Levrang Fintech Connections. From this name, we know that this fintech connection is located in France, in Paris. So in the France, fintech is beginning about the attracting with the media visibility. The media is the first great capture, and with this visibility, all of the scientists is agreed to create some international center for excellence in science and technology. They have some goals, some aims to innovations and leveraging their own technology and make a new business model. Between the states in the French. So after they are leveraging their technology, they try to attract about the international entrepreneurial talent in the world. They're attracting the entrepreneur and they are creating a dedicated program on the investment. So we can find about the low investment regulation in France because they need to attracting about the entrepreneurs. And with the dedicated programs, they are trying to make some quick adoptions with the regulatory and about the legislative standpoint. So they have a strong strategic business. With the law of regulation and investment, they can attract the entrepreneur, so they can change about the strategic business and also with the geographic positioning. That's why we can find about the French FinTech Startup Associations. You can find the infographics for the French connections in this picture with the familiar landmark in in these countries is Eiffel, and they are having some connection with the crowdfunding, the wealth asset, with the POS is point of sales, and also with the banking, the investment, the payment, including the cryptocurrency, and the money transfer, and also with the lending and marketplace. So that's why we call it about the fintech startup in France. We call it Le Franc Fintech Connection. The next country is about the integrated fintech ecosystem in Netherlands or in the Dutch country. We can find the information for the Dutch country. There is no companies in the fintech ecosystem before 2014. So this fact will give us about the large potential of innovative payments. The Netherlands empowering the entrepreneurs and the customer to deliver economic growth and the prosperity. They connected or they align about the various stakeholders using the network between the countries and calling the supporter for founding members, or they are calling about the founders and the entrepreneurs. So the fintech is privately started and funded initiative by the private company, and they are becoming a limited liability company or LLC. With this movement, they are creating new business model in Netherlands and make the governmental relations between the fintech ecosystem. And now we call it the shaping of fintech ecosystem is the best in the worldwide. This is the example for Dutch fintech scene or the Netherlands fintech scenes with the landmark like here, and we can find the connections between the security, the alternative finance, the banking, cryptocurrency, the credit management, and the customer interactions up to the insurance and trading. The next country is the next of Netherlands country is a Luxembourg. We call it the future of fintech hub because the Luxembourg is the hometown of Information Communication and Technology Conference in 2015. With this ICT conference, the Luxembourg changing their financial landscape. This movement is become the best, or they are become one of the world major hub in the fintech companies or the fintech hub. Can find it in the Global Information Technology Reports in 2020. And now they are providing market intelligence and the access for the new business network. They're also adopting the flexible of legislations, special for the fintech companies. And as we know, the Luxembourg is well known as the modern, open, and the connected country, and they are ready to make some embracing with the technology era for the financial service. This is the mapping of Luxembourg fintech map. We can find about the combination in the payment activities, the big data, the insurtech, the cyber security, the fintech, cryptocurrency, of course, the lending, and the reg technology. After the Netherlands, the Luxembourg, we can find the new in Austria. That's in the Vienna. Vienna is the capital town of Austria, sorry. And this is the #1 of the fintech hub in the world. Why Vienna is the #1 of fintech world? Because they are starting with the mobile payment basis. In this country or in this town, we can find the local fintech is related with the venture capital environment. So the venture capital is very, very familiar. So they make some specialist incubator in the business and creating about the development hub. So the fintech hub is very easy in the Vienna. They can make creating a new platform and make some cooperations with enhancing in European capabilities. With this movement, they can make some successful mobile payment hub. And Vienna, we can find about the mapping of the fintech in the Austria. It's categorized in the banking and the beyond of banking. In the banking, we can find about the payments, the wallets, insurtechs, and AI, and also with the alternatives of investment. And then for the beyond banking, it's similar with the banking. We can find the wallet, the bookkeeping, the insurtechs, also the blockchain and cryptocurrency, and with the similar of alternative investment. Let's move to the Asian country. We start with the India. India is having the fintech ecosystem. It is the best in the South Asia. Why India is having the best fintech ecosystem in South Asia? Because they have some innovation in area. They're creating a disruption in the social sector. So fintech will disrupt the social sector. They're creating a collective hub, not only with the fintech hub or with social hub. They make a collective hub. What is the collective hub? It is more connection and some innovations in every industry, not only in the fintech or finance industry. So they create various fintech startup and working with the capital market and payments and microfinance trading and also with the institutional tools. So that's why we can find the India fintech market is having 78 private companies and they are initiative for empowering in digital. So with these informations, we can find that the government is also have some initiative. We can find with the consumer payment also, the personal finance and the merchant service. So they are connected in the social activity. Next, in the Asia, we can find the Singapore. Singapore is the fintech hub for Southeast Asia. While India is the South Asia, Singapore is the best in Southeast Asia. Then this country is ranked in number 4 largest financial center in the world, not only in the Asia, in the world. The fintech is driver is having from the growth of the startup in this country. So they also have the educated community for the financings, and also they have some mentors and some expert, and they creating about the global venture capital in Singapore. So that's why Singapore is having a leading accelerator in the financial innovations. You can find in this fintech map, but it's still before the pandemic in 2018. Now it's very growing with the payments, the investment, the blockchain, the lending, and also the chatbot and the personal finance and about the data management, and the current information is about the crowdfunding is growing up in the Singapore. That's the first material for the fintech hubs. If you have any questions, please you can ask me for Norlin and Diane. Any questions?
We have done, sir.
Okay, thank you, Diane. What about you, Norlin?
I think she's having trouble with her internet connection, sir, since our weather here
Yeah,
is bad.
you can send me a chat if your connection is unstable. I'm sorry, Norlin. I can hear your voice clearly. So you can send me a chat if your internet connection is
Am I audible?
unstable. Okay. If you have none questions, I will continue about the next materials. We talk about the emerging. Okay. Okay. In your screen, what do you see, Diane? What's the topic?
I see your PowerPoint presentation, sir, the emerging markets and social impact.
Okay. Thank you for your response.
You're welcome, sir.
Now we'll continue about the next material, talk about the emerging market and the social impact in the fintech companies. We start with the G20 reports. What's the G20? Is the combination of the 20 countries in the world, and they are creating with the good coordinations and collaborations between the countries. So in this report, we can find 2.5 billion adults are excluded for the formal financial system in this country. And we find about the cash economy is still the supplement of the mobile access, and they are moving to the digital fund. But the cash economy is still number one. These reports also find about the fintech startup is could be an engine for the various access, and they can help with the unbanked to overcome both the discrimination in the financial services. Okay. No problem, Norin. You can follow the course using the recording later. Okay. Next, we are talk about the fintech is not only with the little engines that we can make some great movement for the countries. You can found in the 19 and 30, the financial world was in the precarious states. This is the initial states of the banking or the financial industry. After that, in the post 19 and 30 until 2008, the regulations become more relaxed. The banking is growing so fast. But in 2008, we have found a momentum. What is the momentum? Is we are drawn into a global financial crisis. Not only in our country, it is a global financial crisis. And now we are heading in the new era, 2020. It's the era of mobile fintech solutions, the era of money transfer and the big data, and also with the digital money to replacing about the cash. So they are having some movement, a great movement in the fintech industry. So can the fintech companies or the fintech industry is entering about the bank is like the comparing about the demand and the supply factors in the consumers. And the demand factor we can find with the customer needs the formal financial system. There is the demand of the consumer, and there are also needs a platform for the personal financial management. In the other side, we have the supply factor like the domination of the banking system, the manual banking system in the world. And also we have the anti-money laundering regulations, starting with the G20 and now with the OECD countries. And then we have the great movement, the offer for the digital and the mobile enrollment. That's very, very easy now. So what we can find about the rise of the rest in the fintech, it's like the magic cake for the fintech industry. What is the magic cake? It's like the applications that allow us for lending and having for micro crowdfunding. That's the magic for the cake of the financial industries. So what's next? What goes around is comes around. We can find about the prepayment technology in the current year. And there is the something new under the suns. We can find we have the dual markets. Not only with the traditional markets, we also have the digital market. The combination of traditional market and the digital market, we call it a dual market. So the fintech having the new era, or they can promoting the new era in the financial services. Let's see for the successful example in the world. We can find about the easy tap in India. What is EasyTap? EasyTap is holding almost 80% of M-POS market. It's the mobile point of sales market in this country, and having strong presence just in the one country, only in India. And they have the customer from the young and maybe with the adults and avid with the mobile phone users. They have a great, not actor, but they are a great persons, the charismatic leader in this company, EasyTap, that is Abhijit Bose, is like the Steve Jobs, but in the version of Indian. You know, Steve Jobs is the founder of Apple. The next successful example is come from Malaysia. They have the Soft Space. Soft Space is the best Asian business-to-business payment, and they're creating about the companies to companies and making some payment solutions. They are the best in Asian B2B payment solutions. Back to India, India is also having the Ola. Ola application is the first developed applications to call a cab or a taxi. And now we can find about the Grab or maybe Gojek in Indonesia, but Ola is the first movement. They are the first time develop about the application to call a cab. And now they are creating a developed world system to pay the cabs. Similar like Gojek in Indonesia or Grab car in Singapore. The next successful example is come from our country, my country, Blossom in Indonesia. Blossom is providing about the Islamic microfinancing. They are using the Bitcoin, and the latest innovation is they are joined with the cryptocurrency. We can find another successful example from Hong Kong. We can find the WeLend applications. WeLend is P2P lending startup. Yeah. The P2P lending startup is talk about the lending system between the customer and the business. Peer-to-peer lending startup. And now we can make some combinations between the smartphone, our smartphone, the fintech revolution, and also an educations. We can find in the minimum four benefits. The first benefit is helping the unbanked to reach the financial inclusions. So this is not only with the bank roles, this also helping the unbanked roles. We can find the next generation is very close to digital money management solutions. This is the our last generations. The next benefit is enhancing with the user experience. We can find the greater ability that the people have some interactions or lots of interaction with the smartphone application, because our smartphone is mostly with the app-based mobile money service, having the mobile money service. The next benefit is we can find the new product development, starting with the changing about the consumer engage in the financials, and also they become easier access using the applications preference interface and API. They have some easier access for their existing money, and also they have the money management technology. The last benefit for education is powering the people through the financial literacy. This is the strategy to gain the mass market adoptions. So the digital market will change or will combine with the traditional market. This is becomes of combinations between our smartphone, our fintech revolutions, and also changing in educations. What is the social impact of the fintech? We have found four social impact. The first impact is the consumer will be safe and security. It's talk about the security and fraud about the online transactions. It's very secure now because the global movement of the fintech revolutions. The next impact is for the contributions to the state or monetary policy. The activities or the digital transactions is impacting to the state monetary policy, is having some benefits for our country. The fintech also supporting about the small business and entrepreneurs because it's removing about the traditional barrier of the technology for the thousand of business. So we can find the small business or micro business can helps or can survive with the fintech revolutions, and it's enabled them to reach of new market, not by the traditional marketings, but using the network marketing, using new market with the platform, finding new customer using the platform. And the last of social impact is the business as usual is the thing of the past. This is the challenge for the big banks, that they are looking to have some collaborations, or they need to create innovations, or they are trying to enhance with the social banking. So the market of the big bank will be separate in between the banks and the unbanked. So it could be the banking business is not only with the financial services. They need to make some innovation and collaborating to creating new social banking industry. For the last, we can see about the success story from the India and the pyramid of the opportunity. We have learned about the five informations. The India is the world biggest peer-to-peer offline lending market in the world. So we can find about the lending, the crowdfunding, and also with the microfinance institutions. The second, India is having the consumer-facing app and ideas. They have the strong payment models, and they're also using the payment gateway and with the electronic wallets. The next is the investment interest is also growing in this country. And then the following by the growth of the size of the consumer segment using the mobile and the internet penetrations. And the last is about the policymakers. The India open for the public sector policymakers. They make the new regulations to creating easy for innovation and adoptions, and also with the diffusion in the financial industry. So this is the pyramid of the opportunity in India. We can find that the rich people is very few than the upper middle class, also with the vulnerable of the groups. We can find with the very easiest of alternative trading platform between the rich people and the lower middle class, and also with the vulnerable of the groups. So this is the part of the success story in India. So we can find and we can learn with this information to our countries in the Philippines maybe, or maybe in Indonesia. Okay, I think that's all. Do you have any questions, Diane or Norlin?
None, sir.
Okay, thank you, Diane. How about you, Norlin? Okay.
None, Mr. Sipchan.
Okay, thank you, Norlin. Okay, I think that's all that we can close our sessions today. I will send you about the materials and the recording with your emails, so you can reply me, and maybe if you have any questions, you can ask me using my emails. Okay, thank you for coming today, and we will see again, or we'll meet again in the next weeks.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Diane, and good evening, Norling.
Thank you, Mr. Sipchan.
You're welcome.